Hey there, I'm Honor Janetsky from Awakened Motherhood, where we're helping moms break free from anxiety and overwhelm and awaken to everyday joy. Welcome to the channel. Let's dive in now to 4 steps to eliminate guilt in motherhood, beginning with what is guilt and what creates guilt. So we all experience it, but sometimes and I know this comes out with my clients, like people aren't always in touch with their emotional experience. If you are a highly sensitive, you've probably lived the last 30 years or 40 years up in your head, hiding out from your emotions because they're big and overwhelming. And so a lot of times when people are out of touch with their emotions, they are just living in reactivity. And that can be exhausting. It depletes your energy and you end up living in a space of, I feel like I'm failing and I'm so exhausted. I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't have yelled at the kids. I shouldn't have overreacted to a situation. You might think, I feel guilty for blaming my kid for my own unhappiness. We put our unhappiness on them when we're not living in ownership. When we're not creating our own way of feeling, and when we're out of control, we end up wanting to kind of offload that and say, you're the reason I'm not happy, to a partner, or if you would just behave to a kid, then I could be happy. And it's really not true, but that's the zone of excuses that we live in when we just don't know what else to do. We're just stuck and in that prison of feeling like we have no resources or alternatives available to us. So guilt happens in that separation or disconnect, the gap between who we would like to think we are, who we wish we were, and who we really are. And so if I'm over here just being me, I'm reacting to things, I'm irritable, I'm tired, I don't know how to resource my energy, I don't know how to change my thoughts. I'm just reacting or acting from a place of this isn't how I want it to be. But in my mind, I have this ideal mother version of me who is so loving and kind and patient and listens to kids and is present. And is forgiving and is available emotionally for kids. If I don't know how to be that version of me, the patient, loving, connected, calm version, and that's the work I do with my clients, is creating that. If I haven't done that work and I don't know how to be that, then what's going to happen is I'm always falling short of that ideal. I'm always beating my head against a wall, not succeeding, not accomplishing being the mother I want to be, not being the loving partner, not fulfilling my own expectation of who I want to be, which is different from how my parents did it. And I hear this all the time on calls. You know, people will say, I am so guilty because I'm now a yeller, like my mom was a yeller, or my dad. And I swore to myself before I had children, I wasn't going to do it that way. And so guilt is the result of living in that space of not knowing how to do it differently. Does that make sense? Let me know in the comments. It usually happens because we are avoiding some truth that we don't want to admit to ourselves about how much we're struggling. You might be, for a long time, you might have been in a pattern of avoiding really looking at what's here, or avoiding the truth of this isn't working, the way I'm doing it isn't working. You might be a person who uses denial, which is a form of coping, denial, to just keep going and plow through. You know, you may have grown up in a house or a family where some traumatic things happened. No one was really there to teach you how to create emotional safety for yourself. And when that's the case, we just plow on doing the best that we can, surviving. And then what happens is survival mode becomes your home. That becomes your home in your body. It becomes your set point. And so everything is a threat. Your kid yelling is a threat. Your partner withholding love is a threat. A judgment from your husband or your mother or your neighbor or friend or sister can be a threat. That can feel really threatening. So I'm here today to say, with all of this, that you do not have to suffer in guilt and live in guilt, that it can be a choice. It can be a choice to live and stay in that emotional home, or it can be a choice to move out of that. And you can make a new choice to do it differently anytime. So here are the 4 steps to eliminate guilt from your everyday life in motherhood, starting with the biggest and most important one, you guys. Number 1, know your limits. Know your limits. Be honest with yourself and others, meaning your children, your partner, your whoever else lives in your home with you. Be honest about what you can do and what you cannot do. Pretending to be superhuman only leads to you feeling like a failure and other people being disappointed. So knowing your limits will save your sanity now, in the moment, today, and it will also save you tons of time and energy and hurt in the long run. So I really can't say enough about this. A lot of my clients are caught in a pattern of serving at such a high level. And I'm here with you guys. I like serving too. I love giving people things for free. I love educating the masses. I love sharing my expertise with you, whether you're going to just kind of hang out and lurk in the background, or whether we're ever going to meet or not. I get it. I love service. I love to make my kids feel so loved and safe and comfortable and happy. I love making my partner feel like $1,000,000. These are things that I love. And a lot of the moms who are coming to work with me are the same. Empaths, highly sensitives, big feelers. We love to make people happy, right? So you know this, but I'm going to say it anyway. You can only make yourself happy. You cannot make anyone else feel anything. And what's also true about that is that you can never give your children or your family a higher level of happiness and joy than you have achieved within yourself. And I'm going to say it again for those in the back. You can never give anyone a greater sense of love, belonging, wholeness, fulfillment, or joy than you have achieved for yourself, within yourself, within your belief about yourself. That's so important to get. So on this first point of know your limits, the reason why we're starting with know your limits is because all the time when I'm working with someone, ending old patterns, coming out of that kind of, I thought this was the way it had to be, but oh my gosh, it can be this other way, and I'm just kind of wrapping my head around that now. There's a lot of questioning of that model of the world, which got handed down to you from generation to generation, that says your job is to serve others. And it's not conscious. For some of you it is. For those of you who are really accomplished in your career, who love your work, who have yourself in many different buckets, there's still a piece of like, I feel like if my kid asks for a drink of water, I'm the one who should get up and get it for him. Maybe not that example, but a lot of my clients do not notice how much they do. And a part of my work of helping them create this freedom that they want is helping these moms recognize that they're working way too hard, number one, that they're exhausting themselves and depriving their children of opportunities to grow in responsibility. And also that they are not giving their kids or partner enough credit in what they can do, right? So I'll stop there before we get into the nitty gritty of that. But just to plant some seeds for you to open your thoughts, your thinking up, and ask yourself some really, really critical questions. Am I working too hard? How could this be easier? Am I over giving? Am I over delivering? Some of you do this at work. You over deliver. Sometimes I come on here for a broadcast. I'll be here for an hour. For goodness sakes. Like, that's over delivering. You guys have to know, in what ways are you giving because it's coming from love and you want to and it feels good? No matter how anyone reacts, you feel good about it. Versus where you are giving, over delivering, giving, and ending up feeling resentful, bitter, depleted, angry that they're not appreciating you, angry that they're not grateful for you. This is so hurtful for moms. And honestly, it just creates so much disconnect between us and our kids. Some moms wonder why their kids don't want to hang out with them, why they don't want to play with them, why they don't want to tell them all the things about their day and or their fears and worries or their dreams. And I would look here. I would look right here at what you're introducing emotionally into the space. Okay? Let's move on to point number 2. There's the most fantastic hawk that's dive bombing right outside my windows right now. So if you see me looking this way, I'm just catching these glimpses of this huge magical creature. All right, how to eliminate guilt from your everyday life in motherhood. Number 2. You're not going to like this. This is not going to be your favorite one, but I'm going to say it anyway because there's no getting around it, you guys. There's no getting around this. I really hope you can hear me. Please say if you can hear me because my mic is doing a funny thing. Oh, drop into the comments. Can I see your comments? I'm scrolling and I don't see any. Drop a thumbs up for me if the sound is okay and you can hear me, because that would be really sad if I talked on for another 20 minutes and it was no bueno. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm going to press on with faith that this is working for you. So step 2. Step 2, accept what is right now, exactly as it is. You must. If you are living in denial or avoidance about how bad something is, you cannot change it. You have nothing available to you. You are blocking all of your resources and resourcefulness, and you're never going to make a decision to change it or improve it or transform it until you accept what is right now, what is not working for you about what is, how bad it really is, how disrespectful your child is when he or she talks to you, how irritable you are, how frustrating this is, the fact, like, whatever it is that's not working. You're overwhelmed, you're exhausted, the fact that this is pushing your kids away from you and ruining the relationship. That. Admit to yourself what that thing is. This sucks. You know, it may feel like that. This is horrible. This is not what I wanted. This is so painful. There's so much grief. I don't know what to do with it. Take a look at your reality and really take an honest inventory of what is where you want it to be, what's going well, and what's not where you want it to be. Any relationship you have, the level of order in your home, in your life, how you feel about your life, and who you are as a mother. This is your life you have created up until now. No one did it to you. This is what's happened. It might be a result of living in 20 years of a trauma pattern. So be it. Here we are, right? Just call it what it is. Get your head out of the sand and see what's here. If you don't like it, you can make a new choice to change it. That is always available in every moment to every single one of us, right? Step number 3, forgive yourself and whoever else you need to from your past that got in the way of your happiness and peace, that got in the way of your safety, that got in the way of you believing in who you are and knowing your worth. Everybody goes through crap. Everybody grew up with some challenge. A parent who judged you, a parent who yelled at you. There was no emotional safety. Maybe there wasn't a physical boundary for you. Maybe you've gone through really, really hard things. And again, like, accept what is. That happened. Forgive yourself for not knowing how to do it differently. Forgive yourself for not reaching out for help before now. Forgive yourself for thinking you could do it alone and then seeing that you can't, and seeing the pain that this old trauma causes your family or your children now. Clearing out in whatever way you're able these old connections to anger, blame, pain empowers you to move out of victimhood. It means you get to take your power back. Forgiveness is a choice, and it frees up space inside you for more of what you want. And the reason why people avoid that is because they think that was, we get attachment. We get attached to what the idea of justice is, what's right and wrong. Because when we're hurt, sometimes we don't emotionally develop beyond that point. That's okay, that can be fixed. But just to acknowledge, if you find you're living in black and white, you find you're living in right and wrong, I can't forgive someone who wronged me, I can't forgive myself, that was so awful, then that's an opportunity to look for help, because that can be resolved if you're not able to do that on your own. But forgiveness is a choice. If you hold anger for someone, it's that saying, it's like drinking poison, wishing the other person dead, but you're drinking the poison. And that's really true. We just create toxicity in our bodies, pain in our lower back where we hold anger, toxicity in our kidneys and liver that get overloaded because the body's just reading our thoughts and our unresolved emotions all the time. So forgiveness is a beautiful way to let go of the past and start living in the now. And lastly, the final step is to, this is a biggie, is to build a new model or vision for the family life you want, including you in that. So don't make the mistake of what most moms do. I'm just going to picture what I want for my children, or for the home, or for my marriage. I want my partner to feel happy or loved. I want you to create a model or a vision for the family you want with you at the center of that. And really tap into your desires and work from there. So the desire is that thing you wish you had, like someone else. Or that vision of, I thought it was going to be like that. What's in that? That you don't know how to achieve or accomplish on your own, but the desire is there. That means you can have it, by the way. You just haven't resourced. You don't know the way. That's okay. That part can be fixed. But get clear, dare to get clear on what you really want. And if you're focusing on what you don't want, you're going to get more of that. So focus on the life you want and start being that person now in whatever way you can. She probably takes more action. She probably resources more. She's probably more self-realized. She probably takes responsibility for her actions. I'm just guessing, pulling from what I know the outcomes sound like and look like for moms who are totally free of overwhelm. That means, not a victim to their emotions in any way anymore, not a victim to guilt, not a victim to external conditions. That kind of thinking dies in this work. You learn how to overcome those older aspects of yourself and your personality, which like to feel like the victim, and it's just not going to get you where you want to go. So you can bring those things with you, but you won't get the transformation. And the beauty of this work I do with my clients is that when you realize that there really is no barrier, there really is no limit, that everything is created in our minds and in our bodies and in our hearts with our emotions, that this is just a game of dissolving barriers. This is a game of dissolving the stuff in between where I am now and where I want to be. Present, calm, loving mom, not needing to control everyone else to feel okay and safe, but instead becoming the biggest light in the room so that my children have to adjust to that, right? So if you're thinking, I've tried these things before and it doesn't result in lasting change for me, this doesn't work for me, but I love the idea and I want these things, there are always reasons for that. There are always obstacles and patterns and past traumas and barriers in the way that we have been implementing for a long time that have created big limitations for us. And so if that's what's going on for you, it's not that you're broken or there's something wrong with you. There's a piece that you're missing that you can't see or that you haven't yet found. If that's where you are, I strongly encourage you to reach out to me. You can get on my calendar at, write this down, www.honorjanetsky.com/call, and I'll put it with this video. Get on my calendar, book a free clarity call. In that 45 minutes or hour, you will gain so much value and clarity from that conversation. And we're going to talk about what isn't working for you and what is, what you want, and the roadmap for how to get there. And if I can help you, then I'll absolutely show you how we do that and how my clients are getting beyond overwhelm and staying in a place of steady calm and creating massive joy for their lives. There really is no limit, and the better it gets, the better it gets. So reach out to me, click the call booking link. I'll put it in this video. Please do share with me your experience. I want to hear about what stands out for you in this talk. Leave me your comments, any questions that you might have, and would love, love, love to connect with you. So don't hesitate to reach out. You can also PM me here on Facebook. I'll check those messages and get back in touch with you as soon as I can. Thanks for being here with me for today's broadcast. If you'd like to subscribe, be sure to hit that button below. And if you want to go ahead and book your clarity call, which you absolutely should do, then you can click my calendar link below, or you can go to www.honorjanetsky.com/call to book your appointment right now. See you next time.